Anxiety often feels like a loop that we're stuck in and can't escape. That feeling of dread, the constant thoughts, the physical tension, they just keep coming back. But what if there's a way not to escape, but to literally grow out of that loop? Today, we're sharing our most profound discovery, like our secret weapon, Tao Calligraphy. To us, it's been a game changer for relieving anxiety and stress. And stay till the end to know how you can experience it today.
In traditional art therapy, we use art as both the reflection of the trauma and the tool for healing. Creating art allows our emotions and bodily sensations that tie to trauma to surface and be processed safely. This is what I call the small healing circle. Think of your brain as the command center with the support of a compassionate therapist. Your emotional, mental, and physical responses can be gently guided to build new awareness, and slowly the trauma loop starts to loosen. This small healing circle is about you reclaiming your story through the creative process and compassion compassion of a therapist and compassion of your own. Now, if there is a small healing circle, there has to be a big one. So imagine this bigger healing circle, same process, but with style calligraphy involved. Style calligraphy is not just art, it is a spiritual transmission. When a spiritual master creates a Tao calligraphy, they merge with the Tao, the source, the universal source of all creation, and infuse the artwork with the frequency of unconditional love, forgiveness, compassion, light, and so much more. By tracing, meditating with, or simply being with the presence of this art, you enter into a space where trauma can surface and be released, not just from the mind, but from the soul. This bigger healing circle does not rely on your effort alone. It invites a higher command, the Tao, the source, to do the healing. And that is why it is so powerful. Your anxiety may stem from something deep, but with Tao calligraphy, the healing reaches even deeper.
What you said about the higher command, the Tao, coming in reminds me of the time when I was leading some students to meditate and trace for 10 minutes with the Tao calligraphy that you wrote. And at the end, they shared their experience. One of them said, I feel safe, like I'm being held in safety. Another one said, I saw the stroke like a waterfall flowing from top to bottom, and connecting to it felt like there was a waterfall going through me, inside me, washing through me on the inside. Another student just said three words: power, love, connection. So it was the first time these people, these young people, were experiencing a Tao calligraphy, but clearly they felt the vibrational field that it creates, and it deeply went through their system. Now, the small circle and the big circle fit together into the same picture. Quite simply, think about a tree. The tiniest branches of the tree have the same structure as the large ones. And nature is full of fractals, patterns that repeat at bigger, smaller scales. Healing works the same way. So the small, tangible circle, the healing that we do through art therapy, works on the same principles as the larger, more spiritual process of Tao calligraphy. Because the soul is not separate from the mind and the body. The soul is like the trunk and the roots of the tree. It's closer to the source.
It's very heart touching to know how these first timers practice with Tao calligraphy and experience deep relief while they know nothing about it. When anxiety hits, our brain loops in a conflict between the prefrontal cortex, the limbic system, and the brain stem. It's like departments in an office stuck in endless meetings without resolution. I don't know if you ever experienced that. If you have, I have compassion for you because I really know how it felt like. Our therapy helps by creating new neural pathways, routes we couldn't access in the moment of panic. But Tao calligraphy brings in a higher level executive, the soul, your own soul, and the soul of the greater source. The soul brings clarity, alignment, and direction. From this expanded place, resolution comes faster and it stays.
I love that analogy of the higher level executive coming in to resolve the conflict. Because even if you're just thinking of your own soul, our soul knows so much more about the situation because our soul knows our purpose. It knows why we were born, why we are here, what we are here to achieve and create. And this is why it can bring all these different conflicting parts of us into alignment. Because when we can consciously know what we are here to do, then we can stop stressing over things that are not aligned with our purpose. And we can stop taking them so personally. We can zoom out and then we can simply take action from that neutral place to resolve this situation at hand. It doesn't turn into a whole life disaster or drama. Just a situation, take rational action. But to do that, we first need to get to that neutral place. And my experience of practicing with Tao calligraphy is a lot like tuning a radio. At first, you just hear noise, and that noise is, all those random anxious thoughts inside us. But as you trace the strokes over and over again, the noise starts to go quiet and the music starts to come up. And that music here is your inner peace, which was always there. Now, depending on how I'm feeling on any particular day, it could take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of tracing, however long it takes. I hit a point where I experience deep stillness. The mind goes quiet, which is a big deal for me because my mind is always running. But Tao calligraphy gets me there. And the mind can finally let go. And in that moment, the soul can take the lead.
Whether you were starting with the small circle of art therapy or exploring the vastness of Tao calligraphy, the path is the same. From pain to peace, from confusion to clarity. Anxiety does not define you. And with Tao calligraphy, you may just discover how much more you there is beyond the fear. If you're going, hey, that sounds very cool, how do I try it out? Check the link in the description for a practice video where you can follow along to trace a Tao calligraphy. And be sure to subscribe and hit the bell.